All right. I was at the store, the liquor store. That's how they said in Chicago. And this was the only thing new they had. A Maker's Mark limited release 2020. Barrel finished for amplified notes of vanilla, or I think it's pronounced vanilla, baking spices, and creamy caramel. Now, the last time I had Maker's Mark, I was a 20-something-year-old somewhere in the middle of Korea hanging out with a bunch of school teachers who enjoyed Maker's Mark, and it burned. That's the only thing I remember about it. So I was very hesitant to buy this bottle. Um, it wasn't necessarily an expensive bottle, but it wasn't cheap either. But I like my whiskey like I like my kicks, rare. So if this is a limited edition, I wanted to try it. And I've never actually opened one of these. And I think it's the best looking, you know, headdress on a bottle, maybe second to blends. But man, I've always wanted to open one of these. So I'm going to give this thing a shot. I imagine it's going to be disgusting. But again, as I've matured my tongue through many hours of bourbon tasting, I believe I'll take something from it besides just disgusting. That was cool. That's something you don't get to do every day. Come on now. As traditional. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of flavor in that. That could either mean it's going to taste flavorful or it's going to burn. As I said, you're supposed to let that thing air out for a minute for every year it was whatever, aged or whatever. But, man, I don't know. I like to take a pull right off the top. Got my lucky drinking cup again. I like to take a pull right off the top. Just a little bit. I like to taste it concentrated first. You know, get the real punch of it, and then I'll let it air out and then see what it really is. But it'll keep you warm in the winter, that's for sure. Maybe it's something that people who drink Maker's Mark know, and therefore they drank it, they would think, "Ooh, this is a special version." Like I said, I took a concentrated pull off of it because I just like to experience it that way first. That's not the proper way to do it, I understand. Just something that I like to do. And then, but as I think, now it wasn't terrible. There was a little bit of burn, not even a burn, just a little bit of a something to it. It'd be a good daily, you know, good in the gun world EDC type of whiskey. I mean, it's type that you can come home and sit back to and always know what it's going to be. I imagine it gets sweeter over time once the bottle gets down low and it's been growing. Not growing, but airing out. But I don't hate it by any means. I think it's a great whiskey. I can see why people do choose it. This being a special edition, I guess it may taste a little better even. But I'll wait till this thing airs out to really try and nail it on the head of what's going on in here. But right at the first glance, I would say I wish they had it in a smaller bottle. I think this would be a nice one. So a lot of times when I'm drinking alone, of course, because I don't have any friends, but when I'm drinking, I don't want to drink the good stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I've got stuff that I think is like, oh man, if somebody was here, we'd hit this honey whiskey, or we'd try this blonde or this Eagle Rare or whatever. But when I'm alone, I don't want to drink that stuff all night. Like I want something that I don't mind seeing the bottle go away. And so this here would be a great bottle that I think, you know, if I liked it that much. I don't hate it, but I mean, we need about 10 minutes to let this thing fully open up, I would say. But so if when I'm drinking at night, I stay up to these days I stay up till 2 a.m. You know, studying the stock market. So I have nothing to do but taste bourbons and read stocks and watch videos on it. So I don't want to drink. Maybe the first cup of the night would be like, no, I don't mean by cup, like you know, the first swig of the night. You know, sure, I would try something special. You know, hit something with some flavors and some notes to it, and enjoy that for the start of the night. But as the night gets later, I really just I think this would be a better one that I wouldn't mind burning the midnight hours to, and not having to feel like I need to find another bottle to replace it, knowing that I can. Speaking of, if you want something, never mind. I'll review it later. Gentleman's Jack. But yeah, the makers. I've always loved the way they look. You know, they got the 46, I think. They got the other one. This is a limited edition. It is decently sweet. It's no Woodford Double Oak now. Don't get me wrong, but sure, I could see this being useful. Like I said, I wish I didn't have to buy $50 worth to try it. I wish I could have bought, excuse me, a little less, but it'll be great. And one day when I got people over here and we hanging out late, I'll definitely pull this out and let us go ahead and try and kill this bottle, because I believe it'll work. It's 110 proof, and it doesn't kick like 110 proof, so that's pretty nice. I could liken it to the Knob Creek Rye that I had actually. It was in that level of sweetness and potency and still punch. Definitely not a bad thing. I mean, I guess it's a limited thing, so not everybody be able to get a bottle of it. But if you saw it in the stores and you want to know, I'd imagine it tastes something like regular Maker's Mark, but a little smoother and a little sweeter. Um, I should probably get a tiny bottle of Maker's Mark and verify that. But then again, you know, when you get the little bottles, they don't quite taste the same as the big girls. So I don't know. I didn't enjoy Maker's Mark as a young man, but now that I'm wiser and my beard is this long, I believe my tongue is capable of admiring such a drink. So I do my best. Yeah, there it is. All right, so Maker's Mark. Wood finishing series. It's for wood. It's used to finish woods. It's the wood finishing series. You put this in, you breathe over it. All of these beautiful flavors come out. You can definitely taste the caramel, and the spices come later. It's nice. I think I like this one. It's nice. You put it in. Let me do it one more time. I said too much. Here we go. It doesn't start to heat up for about 4 seconds. You put it in, you can just experience all of the flavors it says there. The sweet, the caramel, and the vanilla. You can experience that for about 4 seconds. Then it starts to settle in with a little heat. And depending on, I guess, how long you swish it around or take it in, as it goes down the throat, the burn is pretty much over at that point. I mean, there's still some heat right here that I can feel, but overall, if you don't rush it, you can really enjoy it all the way through. Very much a good daily drinker. It might be a little too sweet to daily drink. You know, it might be on the sweet side. Yeah, it might be on the sweet side. But right off the top, when you pull the head off of it, the amount of sweetness you smell in it, this is not what I remember from when I was 20 something hanging out in the dorms in Korea. But yeah, I would say if you are, well, I couldn't speak if you are a Maker's drinker. I couldn't tell you whether you'd like this or not. But if you were wondering about a Maker's to get into, this year 2020 limited release is not a bad man's drink. You know what I mean? Like, it's not too sweet to where you think it's girly, but it's sweet enough that you can enjoy it and still act like you got a frown. You know what I mean? Because when you drink with your dudes, it's got to taste like gasoline, in order for you to get legit street cred. So this here, you can mask it. You don't have to be too frilly about it. But now I would say I think this is a good purchase. I cannot wait to have my brother over and drink a bit with him, see what he feels about it. But yeah, solid.